Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of Out of Phrase here on 88.7 CFUR FM. My name is Carl Wiesen, and this is a show where I will be breaking down songs, interviewing local artists on their songwriting process, and sharing unfinished tracks of my own, to open a discussion on the many different methods there are to write music, and attempting to determine why certain structures work, and why there are no set rules in the game of songwriting. Thanks for tuning in. To kick off today's show, I'm going to be singing a song titled Keep Off Track that I've just finished writing. This song started out from the title. My friend Karen sent me a picture of a warning sign down by the little railroad at Clayton Memorial Park and offered it as artwork for a possible song. Though a neat phrase that grabbed my attention at first, I put this one on the shelf knowing that I would revisit it when it was ready to be written. Sometimes songs come through like a lightning bolt, and others like molasses in 30 Below. Once I started this track, it came together pretty quick. About half the time my tunes come from taking the best parts of some bad songs I have written and gluing them together and hoping that the pieces fit into place as a new track of its own. But this one came together all at once. As if all the time I had been waiting for the song to be ready, it had been in a slow cooker, marinating and waiting for me. All in all, I believe Keep Off Track took 2 days to write the music and an additional 2 for the lyrics to be completed. If all goes according to plan, this tune will be released on my next EP. Here's Keep Off Track.
Looking back helps me keep off track and pretend that you're still here and all the skies are clear in the end. Now and then I'll come through when rainy days remind you of all the good times we've had. And past the early morn dew, sunny days will find you when you let go of the past. Standing by helps me live this lie gone without. A goodbye, a quiet lullaby left no doubt. But now and then I'll come through when rainy days remind you of all the good times we've had. And past the early morn dew, sunny days will find you when you let go of the past. Looking back helps me keep off track and pretend.
Many thanks to Karen for the title and the inspiration for that one. Next up, we will be listening and breaking down some amazing songs from Elijah Quinn and Brit AM. Stay tuned to 88.7 CFUR FM. First up is Elijah Quinn's latest release, Steady.
I
never figured out the secret of being happy where I am. Always searching the horizon in hopes of finding better plans. I followed each direction, fleeting as they are. I'd spend my time chasing the sun, but instead I'm chasing stars. So lead me on, take me home. I don't feel like being alone tonight. So hold me steady, guide my ship through the dark. And if you plan on leaving, I pray you leave me a little piece of your heart. Never know what I look like. I'm just trying to sell a brand to all the people watching, wondering who I really am, what I'm doing tomorrow, what my plans are for the year. They're always wondering when I'm getting out of here. So lead me on, take me home. I don't feel like being alone tonight. So hold me steady, guide my ship through the dark. And if you plan on leaving, I pray you leave me a little piece of your heart. Lead me on, take me home. I don't feel like being alone. Lead me on, take me home. I don't feel like being alone. So hold me steady, guide my ship through the dark. You plan on leaving, I'll pray you leave me. Pray you leave me. Pray you leave me a little piece of your heart.
That was Elijah Quinn with Steady. There's a lot of things I really love about this song, and one of them is in that groove. And this happens a lot throughout the song. They hold and they wait for the 2, the 1, 2, and kick up the song on that snare. Such a cool little thing that adds a lot of groove to it. Another thing that is great about this song is how open and honest the lyrics are. They are descriptive but not over-specific, and everybody can relate or see the points that Eli's making.
I never know what I look like. I'm just trying to sell a brand to all the people watching, wondering who I really am, what I'm doing tomorrow, what my plans are for the year. They're always wondering when I'm getting out of here. So lead me on.
In the last pre-chorus after the bridge, Eli throws in a borrowed chord of C, which gives the build into the final chorus some extra oomph and increases the dynamics. From there, Eli lets his trademark powerful vocals go, and these are just a few reasons why this is such a great song.
Lead me on, take me home. I don't feel like being alone. So hold me steady, guide my ship through the dark. And if you plan on leaving,
Next up, we have Brit AM with In Agreement off her latest EP, Gold.
Myself in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, while in agreement with myself. In agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, while in agreement with myself. Got to a point where I was sick of my own. And this I knew, but I still couldn't own it. So I said yes to things I should have said no to. But isn't that just something everybody goes through? In agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, while in agreement with myself. In agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, while in agreement with myself. I lost the beat, lost a few in a row. Laid down to let it pass, but it just never did. So lost even more. I finally hit a wall. I took it to the head. It hurt like hell, but the stars were so pretty. I dusted myself off and gathered my grief, and I said, it's time to get to know you. In agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, find in agreement with myself. In agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, find in agreement with myself. In agreement, in agreement, I feel lost if I lose agreement with myself. In agreement, in agreement, I feel lost if I lose agreement with myself. I feel different, feel different, feel different, find in agreement with myself.
My name is Carl Wiesen, and you are listening to Out of Phrase on 88.7 CFUR FM. What you just heard was In Agreement by Brit AM off her recent EP, Gold. Right off the top, I love how inviting the intro is. It's a great length and makes for a perfect transition into the first verse.
I was so clumsy in my early 20s.
Another factor in the song is it contains great, open, and honest songwriting, something so important that makes this song so relatable.
To a point where I was sick of my own. And this I knew, but I still couldn't own it. So I said yes to things I should have said no to. But isn't that just something that everybody goes through? In agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement.
My favorite aspect of this song is how Brit creates an expectation and then fulfills that expectation throughout the course of the tune. In the first verse, we can hear Brit explain how her relationship with herself was detrimental to her well-being, but by the time we reach the end of the bridge, she says to herself, it's time to get to know you.
Dusted myself off and gathered my grief, and I said, it's time to get to know you. In agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, in agreement, find in agreement with myself. In agreement.
Again, that was Brit AM with In Agreement off of her latest EP, Gold. Next up, I'm going to play a song called Show Me How that I've also just finished writing. Been writing a lot these days, which is good, but one technique I'm using is not just to write from my own personal experience or from anything in my own life, is actually trying to write for people and writing from scenarios that may have not even happened, just making stuff up. As the great Dan Penn said, you can write about your story, but what are you going to write about tomorrow? And I definitely don't have enough stories on my own to write as much as I want to. Anyway, here is Show Me How.
Wait 'cause my heart's somewhere else these days, sunk to the bottom of the lake, with all of my problems that are man-made, my fault. Well, I've come a long way from back then to now. Got nothing to say, just keep running my mouth. Still trying to stay on one piece of ground. Now I'm looking for a woman to try and show me how. Show me how. Show me how. Now, looking back on those days, it shows all the wild nights that God only knows. Life is just like a river that flows and erodes. I've come a long way from back then to now. Got nothing to say, just keep running my mouth. Still trying to stay on one piece of ground. Now I'm looking for a woman to try to show me how. Show me how. Show me how. Show me how.
My name is Carl Wiesen, and you are listening to Out of Phrase on 88.7 CFUR FM. That last song you heard was a demo of mine called Show Me How. And now we're going to listen back to an interview I did a couple months ago with Genevieve Jade prior to the release of her recent album, I'm Not Who You Think I Am. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, and thank you for listening to 88.7 CFUR FM. My name is Carl Wiesen, and today we are extremely lucky to have local singer-songwriter Genevieve Jade in studio to discuss her upcoming release, I'm Not Who You Think I Am. Thanks for coming in today, Genevieve.
Thanks for having me, Carl.
Starting at the beginning, when did you start singing and playing music?
Well, I've been singing for a long time. I actually started in a choir, bel canto choir, way back when. And then I decided that I was a little bit of a diva when I was a kid. I didn't want to be on stage with a bunch of other people. And I wanted just to sing by myself. So I started taking singing lessons with Don Boudreau when I was probably about 10 years old. And then it kind of just went from there. I started writing songs when I was in my teenage years and kind of just been going ever since.
Awesome. What really grabbed you or interested you about songwriting, and when did you make that leap into like a full-fledged songwriter?
When I was, like I said, I was taking singing lessons when I was younger, and it kind of got to like a point where it was just getting a bit kind of, same old, singing other people's songs kind of, for me anyways, it kind of just got old after a while, and I started listening to different music. The first band that really kind of inspired me to start writing my own songs was Bon Iver, and then I enrolled in the Selkirk program in Nelson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I started writing pretty much right when I moved to Nelson. Yeah, in my early well, I was 19 at that point. Yeah, so I started writing then. I think it's just being immersed with a ton of other musicians around me and seeing everyone else songwriting and kind of just inspired me to do the same thing. So
in a super supportive environment, right? And that's the most fun thing when you're writing a lot and writing openly and bouncing songs off of other people, right?
Yeah, especially when you're younger too. Like I feel like you're not worried about being judged as much. It kind of like falls away. You have to remember that as you get older that you once didn't really care, so why do you care now?
Exactly. Well, that's awesome. Your first full-length album, titled For Him, featured indie folk ballads as well as up-tempo pop-filled tunes. Have you noticed a shift or change in your songwriting since that release?
Yeah, definitely. I would say I put a little bit more of a focus on, I wanted to make the songs be a little bit more accessible. I found the first release was almost like a little like heavier than I anticipated it being.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I kind of wanted just to have a little bit more of a variety of genres. So that's what my goal was with this new album, was just to kind of make it so there could be something on the album for hopefully a large variety of people.
And that's a great idea going into writing songs, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of artists try to stick to one field, right? And they kind of end up copying themselves over and over again, sticking to this one idea of what people want to hear with them. But that's an awesome and great approach to it.
I guess I'm still trying to figure out what that one thing is for me, because I listen to so many different genres of music. So it's hard for me just to like sit on one particular style. Yeah.
And I'm sure maybe you've experienced this playing live shows, but usually the song, or sometimes, not usually, the song that you don't think is going to resonate with people is the one that everybody's asking you about. Like, when are you releasing this new song that heard you play the show? Yeah.
Totally. It's always frustrating. It's like, oh no, I didn't record that one. Sorry, maybe next time.
Yeah. Your new album, I'm Not Who You Think I Am, was recorded at PG famous Pulp City Music with engineering and producing wizard Connor Pritchard. Why did you choose to record this project at Pulp City?
Oh, I've been trying to get in with Connor for so many years. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. We worked at the Sound Factory together back in the day before it moved like 3 times ago.
Yeah.
And we've just kind of been friends ever since. And I've seen a lot of his projects, and I guess I shouldn't say seen, but I've heard like almost all of his projects, and I've always been so impressed with Connor's work. And I don't really know how else to put it. Connor's, he's incredible. He's so talented. And he's just a wonderful human to be around, too. And I really like to work with people that I'm friends with and you can get along with and have a good time. Just makes the process more enjoyable.
Definitely. And one thing about Connor, too, is he doesn't take enough credit as a producer. He has great ideas.
He has wonderful ideas. And he also plays on the album as well. Like, he plays acoustic guitar and saxophone on the album.
Whoa.
And he's never going to tell you that.
No.
But here I am to tell you that.
I know, I just can't get the picture of him, scantily clad with the saxophone down in his studio right now.
I know. I just, when he sent me the track, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Who's playing sax on that? And he wasn't going to tell me. And I was like, no, seriously, who's playing? He's like, it was me. And I just picture him in the back of the studio smoking a cigar or something with a cool hat on and a tux, but he probably wasn't.
Yeah. But yeah, all of his releases and people that he's worked with locally, all the albums have such a great, polished, clear sound.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
And to let people know, we're not sponsored by...
You think so?
But if you need recording, head down to Pulp City Music.
Well, your tracks as well, proof, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's great work. For folks out on the interwebs, Genevieve recently released a wonderful music video created in partnership with Mid-North Music Services for her new song, Run. What was the story behind that track, and how did the idea for the music video come about?
Well, the story behind the track, it's kind of dark. It's kind of about being stuck in a relationship that you can't get out of, and everyone around you is telling you come on, get out. It's not good for you. It's not healthy for you. But at the end of the day, it ends up just being, it's like an internal battle with yourself. So that's kind of what I wanted to get across with that music video is the end of it, like the monster is really me. It's not really anyone else. It's my own battle that I'm fighting, or that I'm fighting through the song anyways.
Rescue you. Pack your bags, don't even think twice. Now you're the roles have been reversed, and you've traded in your hat. You're not coming back.
And so I had an idea of making that mask just to kind of use that as a metaphor. So I made the mask with paper mache and had a lot of fun making that. And when it comes to music videos, like I always find they can be kind of awkward to watch as just like a viewer. And I really wanted to make something that was like quirky and kind of funny at the same time and not be so serious. And I wanted it to be like kind of campy and yeah. So I think we achieved that. It's supposed to be like kind of comical and quirky, and I couldn't think of anyone better than Britt and Nathan from Mid-North Music to work with on that. So yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Awesome. Who in the music video was the man behind the mask?
Chris Dibbins. Yeah. So he plays in Crohn's. He's the bass player in Crohn's.
That's awesome. Just
Yeah.
a local effort all around.
I was just looking for the tallest person I could find. and Chris is great. He took it really seriously. Like it was like 35 degrees that day. It was so hot, and he's wearing this paper mache mask. Can't see a thing, stumbling through the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been method acting. I've been in character for a week.
Oh, he was. Yeah. He was really taking it serious.
Awesome. On top of being a solo artist, as well as a member of folk rock favorites Patchwork, you also host open mics at Trench Brewing. Being involved with the Prince George music scene for some time, I wanted to ask if you've noticed a change or improvement in the PG music scene in recent years.
That's a great question. I think it really depends on, well, if you ask me, I can say, yeah, I think it has changed a lot. It's difficult with the last 2 years because of the pandemic, of course, but I found from hosting the open mic, it's really interesting. You go to each open mic around town, and they all draw like a different crowd. So for me, that was really cool to be a part of, seeing a lot of musicians. It was like their first time playing live, and they're still coming to that open mic, and that's amazing. That's so cool. That's what we want. We need more musicians. We need more talent. We don't need more talent. We have all the talent. We just need to be able to showcase all of the talent that we have. So for me, that was really cool, being able to see that people start off and then how they're still playing, and now they're getting other gigs from just gaining the confidence at that first open mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking from since I've been in this town, definitely a large resurgence, or maybe a new factor of singer-songwriters. Like when I moved down, there was maybe a couple metal bands in the public kind of sphere,
yeah.
right? And then Danny Bell blessed us moving here, and kind of, and not solely on him, but definitely big help to Mad Loom Productions and all of the work they've done. But yeah, it's really cool to see like all the people you and I both know, all our friends, putting out music and creating and doing original content. It's really awesome to see.
Yeah, it is.
The new album, I'm Not Who You Think I Am, will be released on November 26th, wherever you get your music. And the release show will be happening on December 4th at the Almanica Arts Center, where Genevieve will be performing alongside special guests Britt AM and Michael Watson. After all of the hard work that has gone into writing and crafting these songs, how excited are you to finally play them live, Jen?
Oh, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this for like a solid year. So I can't wait. Yeah, I'm really excited. And I have my full band with me too, so that'll be really great. So we're really trying to recreate the album exactly how you'll listen to it. We're doing our best to bring in all the elements from the production into the live performance.
That's
so there's
great.
going to be like 7 of us on stage.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a very tricky thing to do.
It is, yeah.
I've done this previously myself, is paint myself in a corner in the studio, like adding all these things. I'm like, I can't even play these things.
I only have 2 hands.
Yeah.
And 2 feet.
So maybe we'll see Connor shirtless with saxophone. Okay.
Maybe. We'll see. Here's hoping. Connor will be doing sound, so he'll be there for sure. And yeah, then we have Nick Tyndale on drums, Rock Patch on tele, guitar, and backup vocals. Cal Hildy on the keys and synth, and then we have Bryn Porter on bass. And Warren from Flying Machine, he'll be there as well, playing some fiddle on a couple of the tunes.
Wow.
And even Britt will be joining us on some vocals. So yeah, it's gonna be really great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today, Genevieve.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
The new album, I'm Not Who You Think I Am, from Genevieve Jade, will be released on November 26th, wherever you get your music, and the release show will be held on December 4th at the Almanica Arts Center at 8 p.m. Tickets are available at the Makery on 1135 Fifth Ave, and while you're there, grab yourself a coffee and a craft. My name is Carl Wiesen. Thank you for listening to CFUR 88.7 FM. And thank you for joining me for the first ever episode of Out of Phrase here on 88.7 CFUR FM. This is a weekly program that you can catch at 11 a.m. on Tuesdays and 3 p.m. on Saturdays. Have a great rest of your week, folks.